What kind of animals are those?
Lamas.
Llamas.
Yep.
Like baby llamas.
Fetuses.
Fetuses.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is nothing for vegans, guys. These are like 4 months, 7 months old fetuses of llamas.
Mother and child. 3 steps in like a woman. She's holding her torso for long life. She's her mother. We'll eat from her, when we die, we come back. That's her mama.
What's up, guys? I just landed in La Paz. Or what am I saying? Landed. I just came with a bus here from Uyuni, from the salt desert, and yeah, it's one of the highest cities in the world. It's the unofficial capital of Bolivia, but the government is here and it has all the things that you would need for a capital to be seen as a capital. It has 3,650 meters. I think it has several million people living here in the city, and yeah, it's totally crazy. Let me show you the first impressions. So yeah, as you can see, it's nothing too crazy yet. I'm sitting in my taxi here and I'm driving to my Airbnb now. But the first impression is definitely a good one. It has more things going on than Santa Cruz. So because I've been in Santa Cruz for a really long time, I kind of got bored of it. And here there seems to be more traffic, more people. And there's like, you know, you have these mountains around the city where there's a lot of houses in it and looks really interesting. And yeah, it seems more like a big city. It seems there's more things going on than in other cities that I've seen in Bolivia. Okay, guys, I will check in my Airbnb now. Then I will get some work done. And as soon as I get out of the house and get to see La Paz, obviously I will show you the city. So see you guys later. Okay, people, welcome to La Paz from my Airbnb here. And I'm going to take you out to show you the city a little bit. I've been around the neighborhood here. I'm in the south of La Paz called Alto Obrajes, but I haven't really been exploring the city a lot yet. I've been one time to Centro, and it definitely looks really, really cool. And I'm just going to take you downtown now to so you can see how La Paz looks like with me together. Let's go. Okay, so this is how the street looks like in front of my apartment. And what is a better idea than to do a workout on 3,700 meters? So this is what I did yesterday. I went here and I did a workout here, and yeah, it was definitely very fun, especially if you can breathe correctly. So yeah, I've done a pretty intense workout yesterday on this thing that you can see behind me, and it was definitely a lot of fun. You can hear me that I'm already out of breath, and this is something that's just something that happens here on this altitude, and that is quite natural, I think. Once I went grocery shopping and I had to stop several times on the way because I just couldn't breathe anymore, and it was just too heavy to keep on walking. I was like nearly passing out, and that's why I had to stop. So should you ever come to the city, you can be prepared to the fact that your breath is literally going to be taken away. So what are my first impressions of Bolivia? I have to say that Bolivia is 100% one of my favorite countries so far, because it's very unique in its nature, in its landscapes, and in its general mix and vibe, because it has this mix of mountain and tropical, as you might be able to see in the background. So that's something that's really cool. And on top of that, I had a lot of fun with the Bolivian girls here. So I don't want to flex with that, but I've been literally taking girls home on a weekly basis, and they just came home with me on the first date again and again and again and again. So it was wild. And last week I even took 2 girls home in 1 week. So definitely had a lot of fun with the women in Bolivia so far. So this is what my barrio looks like here. Nothing too crazy. It's like a little village in the mountains. And we're gonna see that we're gonna find a bus now that takes us to Central. Okay, there you can see the buses. I think this one will take us to Central. Let's check it out. Disculpa, es por dirección de Centro.
Sí.
¿Sí? Perfecto. Okay guys, bus is moving. And we're on our way to Central. So the streets look like pretty dry. Buenas tardes. Pretty dry mountain city. But I think we're gonna see a little bit more once we're in the actual center. We just have to wait until we pay the 2 bolivianos, which is like 20 cents. So the public transport is definitely very, very affordable in Bolivia. But it can be dangerous too, like especially if you do like throughout the country. You have to see that those buses go through high altitudes, and there can be a lot of accidents, especially like public type transport. So be aware of that. Here you can see a little bit how the city looks like. So they have those huge buildings in the middle of the mountains on 3,600 meter height, which is quite cool. Okay, welcome from Centro de La Paz, the center of the capital of Bolivia. So we finally made it out of the bus, and now I'm just going to show you a little bit around the city. So first stop is like a little spot, just like a plaza in the middle of the city, and we're on our way there. And on the way you can already see a couple of pretty cool stops within the city. So as you can see, it's pretty unique kind of style that the city has. Like the closest that would come to it would be Bogota in Colombia, in my experience. Also has this like hill style city vibe. And one thing you always have to be careful about in Bolivia is the traffic, because the traffic is going to fucking kill you. Okay, so shall you come here anytime in the near future, you should definitely be aware of that. And look like how steep this street is. I'm not sure if it comes across in the video, but yeah, it's fucking exercise to walk in the city in Bolivia. Oh look, it actually has quite nice architecture here, and it's definitely an interesting walk through the city. Again, as I just said, La Paz has a really unique vibe to it, and part of it is that it's basically like you're walking a mountain all the time, so that's something that's quite interesting about the city. By the way, I had this plan this morning to go to the Death Road. It's like the most dangerous street in the world, which you have here. But I read a couple of articles about it, how tourists were dying and shit like that. And then I actually canceled my plans of going because I'm afraid of heights, and it was a bit too much for me to go to a street where there's like basically a lot of people dying. But if you're interested in adrenaline, then you can definitely check out. So yeah, look at this, we have a little plaza here, which is quite cute. Some random people selling some stuff on the street. And yeah, you have some modern architecture behind it too, which is quite interesting. And what I always find quite interesting is the fauna in Bolivia. Super different than in other countries. You have one of those streets again, which just go like far down and basically in the mountains. Look, there's a European flag out there. Feel like home, but if you know my political views, then you know that I'm not a huge fan of the politics or the European Union. So back there should be this plaza that we're walking to. And yeah, you will see it in 1 second. Here people, we made it to Plaza Murillo, which is kind of the central plaza in La Paz, which is named after the independence fighter Murillo. If I would need to take a guess, he probably fought for independence from the Spanish Empire. So yeah, you can see this, I think this is the government palace, but I'm not 100% sure. And of course, in the middle of the plaza, you have the statue of the hero that this plaza is named after. So if I would need to take a guess again, I think this is Murillo. So I think this is the Cathedral of La Paz, and as you can see, like the plaza is very lively. Like there's a lot of people here, a lot of birds on the ground. So definitely have a lot of life that is going around here. ¿Hablas inglés? So the boy just said in English, please, and I asked him if he speaks English. which he probably doesn't because nobody does in Bolivia. Look, it's Bolivian women in traditional outfits feeding the birds. Has almost kind of a mythical vibe to it. There's so many pigeons I have never seen in my life. And yeah, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? To say the city centers of Bolivia always kind of catch me. Have some really cool vibe to it. Hola. Very friendly. Doesn't say hola back. And yeah, this is the first stop of what you can look at if you walk through La Paz. Like from the stairs up here, you have an even better view. What the cathedral and the palace and the statue. So again, you can see one of those women here with traditional outfits. One thing I found really crazy about those is that they walk around in sandals in fucking minus degrees. So they don't have a lot of sensitivity when it comes to cold temperatures. And yeah, so when I came to La Paz, it was minus 2 degrees. And I saw those women in traditional outfits walking around, and they actually they had naked feet, and I found that to be pretty crazy because, yeah, to be honest, I would literally die if I do that. The next stop, guys, is the witch market in La Paz. So this is what's going to be our next stop, and I hope you enjoy the city so far. By the way, guys, if you're afraid about the costs of traveling to South America, you can see here 15 Bolivianos for pieces of meat, beef chorizo, pollos, chicken, chuleta de res is also a beef, and 15 Bolivianos is like €2, okay, or like $2 more or less. So Bolivia is incredibly cheap, but you have to know how to do it. Like, yeah, you have to know how to do it because there can be a lot of restaurants that are actually quite expensive, and you always have to be on the hunt for like the cheap ones if you want to really make a deal. So those are like how the side streets here look like. Now you have those streets that are going up into the mountains. That's what the main street looks like here. Pretty cool stuff. I have to say, La Paz is a really underrated city. Doesn't have a too good reputation, but given the fact that all of this is on 3,600 meters, I would say it's a really cool thing to check out if you're in Bolivia. So yeah, as we're walking closer to this witch market, seems to be a bridge on the way, which is nice because it shows you a pretty cool view on the city. As you can see, La Paz is a relatively busy city for Bolivia because most cities in Bolivia are actually quite chill. Like, they don't have that many people. But La Paz, there you can see the name, definitely has a lot of people walking around. So it has this capital vibe, and given the fact that the official capital is Sucre, it's almost ridiculous if you look at the difference between Sucre and La Paz, because La Paz just has so many more people, it's almost ridiculous. So yeah, Old lady begging for money. And if you're like me, you've bought into that cliche of Bolivia being super poor and like everything is dangerous. First of all, let me tell you this. Bolivia is not dangerous, okay? Compared to other South American cities, I would even say it's relatively safe. For example, if you compare Bolivia to Colombia or Brazil, then Bolivia is going to be much, much safer in comparison to that. So greetings are going out to my mom, who told me, why are you going to Bolivia? It's so dangerous there. Look at this. Mom, does that seem dangerous to you? Does it seem super poor to you? No, it's bullshit. Stop listening to people. Go to the countries and make your own experiences. I think that's always the best way to get to know a country. Yeah, you can see Bolivia is always quite colorful. And has a really nice vibe to it, I would say. We can walk around this market now. I think if we walk up further that direction, then we're gonna get to the witch market. ¿Cuándo sería? ¿Cuándo sería? 5 bolivianos. So you can get your shoes cleaned for 5 bolivianos. Pero amigo, ¿tienes algo para este material? ¿Sí? Okay, you know what? Let's get our shoes cleaned. 5 bolivianos, why not? ¿Qué? Sí, ya va a subir el precio a comprar. I hope he's not gonna ruin my shoes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, shoes are freshly polished. And seems fine to me. So yeah. On the camera they seem to have that like color glance, but in reality they don't have it. Otherwise I will freak out. But I think the guy only used soap, so shouldn't be that much of a risk, to be honest. So we've arrived at a new plaza. Hello. And it seems kind of cute. Has Bolivian style to it. Like, as I told you, those Bolivian women with bare feet sandals, basically. And yeah, authentic experience. What can I say? Somewhere in that direction, it's gonna be this market of witches. We're gonna go there in a second, but for now I'm just gonna rest and drink my Coke for a couple of minutes. So I just gonna look at the plaza where I'm going to rest. So yeah, when I'm here, let me talk about a couple of things that might be important. First thing is, my shoes seem to have survived. I asked the guy in advance how much it is, and he said 5 bolivianos. And later he told me 5, so for 5 for each. But I said I'm only going to pay him 5. So because, you know, I asked him in advance how much, he said 5, and then of course I expect it to be for both of them. It's not even about the money, it's just about the principles, you know, keeping your word and shit. I think that's important. So yeah, that's why I didn't pay him the money that he asked for. We're already here. Let me talk about something that is probably of concern to a lot of people who come to Bolivia, and that is the security situation. How safe is Bolivia, and in particularly La Paz? I would say I never once felt unsafe, except for one situation where I came with the bus. I just arrived from Uyuni, and I just took a random taxi from the street. And that didn't feel safe to me at all. So I later checked how safe that stuff actually is, and the Foreign Ministry of Germany actually tells you to absolutely not take taxis in the streets, because those can take you to locations far away, and then they rob you and they force you to give out your PIN, and then they're gonna withdraw the money from your bank account. So those are all things you want to avoid, and if you want to avoid that, I have two recommendations for you. The first one is use Uber, which isn't too popular in La Paz. But the second one is you use InDrive. That's more popular here. Those are all registered. They have the number plates and all of that stuff. So if something happens, it's quite easy to track them. And the other options you have, you just call a number and you order a taxi like that you actually call a number, or you have somebody order it for you via the phone. But I think if you do those steps, if you don't follow random people and cars on the street, or you don't take taxis on the street, usually it's gonna be fine. So what I've heard, there are no robberies with arms in La Paz or in Bolivia in general. That's more thing that's reserved for Colombia or Brazil. So the security situation is relatively good compared to other Latin American countries. So don't be afraid. Here you can see the mountains a little bit better in the background that are around La Paz, and you can see it back there too. So basically the city center is surrounded by mountains, and yeah, we're just gonna continue walking up into that direction, and somewhere to the left up there should be the witch market. And yes, you can see the streets are interesting, different than other cities in South America. It has this steep vibe, you know, like things are going uphill, but yeah, it's definitely a very interesting experience because it has something different than other South American cities. As you can see, women eating in the streets. Why not? And we're gonna continue walking towards the witch market. So we're going to be at the witch's market in a second, and just to give you a quick info already, so this market is basically a tourist attraction in La Paz, and it has this Bolivian people that sell you things that are popular in Bolivian traditions. And yeah, you have pretty much anything from dried frogs to medicinal plants to I don't know what. And we're gonna see it in a second because we're already in the witcher's market. So we've made it, and I'm just gonna show to you how it looks like. So of course you have cute little llamas, which is funny because they eat them in Bolivia too. And you can buy like talismans, stuff like that. Clothing, if you want a poncho, you can buy that here too. And yeah, this is the first impression of the Witcher's Market.
Perdón, solo tengo señorita.
Sopa, tal vez pueden pedir de una vez, porque, o sea, no sé, tal vez al volver a la cancha o si tienen el tiempo ahorita, está bien. Yeah.
This is a funny one because as far as I know, you can buy those dried frogs in reality. Like you can actually buy dried frogs at the market, I think. And yeah, you have those statues kind of Imka style, which is pretty cool too. I'm not sure if those are real. Amigo, ¿son animales reales o no? Sí? Okay. So those are real animals.
They are stillborn.
¿Cómo?
Stillborn. These are miscarriage. This is like formal salt. That's a stillborn.
Okay.
We use them to do offerings for Pachamama, for Mother Earth. Local people buy them with candies and plants. We get home, burn them, and then we burn the ashes under the house.
Okay.
Pachamama give us a bless.
What kind of animals are those?
Lamas.
Llamas.
Yeah.
Like baby llamas.
Fetuses.
Fetuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are like miscarriage. They're stillborn. That's why they are complete.
How were those animals called again?
Llama. Yeah.
It's also llama.
That's a llama, yeah.
Ah, llama. So those are baby llamas and those are fetus llamas. Okay.
That's why they're here, so people can do the offerings.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. And you can like 2 months old.
What's this?
2 months old llama fetus. 2 months old. That's it. 10 months.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
like 4 months old, 7 months old, and stillborn over there.
So this is nothing for vegans, guys. These are like 4 months, 7 months old fetuses of llamas.
Yeah.
And yeah, they burn them with medicinal plants, no?
Different kind of plants, flowers, and candies.
Okay.
So that's the way you do the offerings for Pachamama.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that's why the candies are over there. So you can choose the ones that you want and you take it home to do the offering.
With those candies, you do
Yeah,
the
offering. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So how does the offering work?
It's like this. You put plants, candies, and the llama fetus. You burn all together and then you bury the ashes under the house. And Pachamama give us a bless.
Nice. So it's basically to
do an offering for Pachamama. For
Pachamama is a god or?
Pachamama is a goddess. She's Mother Earth.
Uh-huh.
This is the representation that we have of Pachamama. She's grandmother, mother, and child. 3 steps in life woman. She's holding the torso for long life. Snake is protection. Frog is symbol of money, and fish is health. She's our mother. We live on her. We eat from her. When we die, we come back to Pachamama.
But it's like an indigenic god, no?
Aymara's, yeah. Aymara's god, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why all this stuff is around here. It's because of her.
It's crazy.
Mm.
And what are those faces?
This is a puma. Like this is a guardian, protector of the house. This is an Inca's face. Yeah. And these are also talismans.
Which are Imka's face?
This one. You see.
What does it mean, Imka's face?
This is just for decoration.
Okay, so it's like for the Incas that lived back then.
Yeah.
The
representation of their faces. Yeah.
Interesting. So that is a pretty. What's your shop called?
It's a chifleria. A chifleria is a place where you can buy like the offerings, rituals, talismans, and that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, if you're in La Paz, check it out. So far, the best shop I've seen. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
See ya.
See ya.
Here you have the fetuses again of the llamas. Ooh. Really interesting. So the guy just showed me pretty much the culture of what's behind all of this. And yeah, they burn the fetuses of llamas with candies. And they try to appease the gods, which is an indigenic god, a nature god. And yeah, I mean, those kind of sacrifices are actually found in all religions, so it's not really something new. If you read the Bible, I mean, they're just gonna sacrifice shit all year round. Like, they're gonna sacrifice lambs. Abraham in the first Testament is asked to sacrifice his son. So it seems to be that religions have a lot of sacrifices going on. So what about you guys? Would you sacrifice a llama fetus in order to appease the nature gods? Or are you vegan and you're afraid to do that? It's like I made a video recently on Instagram where I said that I actually tried llama meat, so we put it on the grill and ate llama meat. And I said that Bolivia is definitely not a country for vegans because like if you're gonna see those dead fucking fetuses, that's just gonna traumatize you for the rest of your life. So if you're a vegan, don't come to the witches market if you don't want to get traumatized. Okay, we're out the witches market and we're just gonna go up there, of course uphill again. It's a running gag at this point. So guys, how do you like La Paz, Bolivia so far? The highest capital in the world. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is, if you plan on coming here. If you have any questions, you can put that in the comments too. And I will see that I'm gonna answer them for you. Look how much value you're getting from my channel. Entertainment, question answered, information for free. For this at least, you could give me a follow button. You can hit the follow button and support my channel so I can do even more travel and I can give you even more information on what you need to know when coming to those places here. So there seems to be a protest going on. There's something about justice. I can't read it. But people seem to be angry. They're like firing shit. As you can firing things towards the building that has something to do with justice. Could be because of the current economic situation. Because actually the Bolivian central bank doesn't have dollars anymore. So yeah, but don't be like me, guys. You should avoid stuff like this. You know, protests that are like on the borderline of getting violent in Latin America are usually not a very good idea to visit. But yeah, Bolivia is on the way to become like Argentina because the central bank doesn't have any dollars anymore. So people getting upset because inflation rises. And it makes them poorer, so I can understand why. Because of shitty government policies, they'll lose their money. Of course, they're gonna be upset. For me, it's kind of a natural reaction. But I can hear the shoots in the background there. They are upset. So yeah, this is one thing worth mentioning. Bolivia is kind of politically not super stable. So a few weeks ago, they had a military putsch against the government. So the military tried to push the government and it didn't work, and apparently it was actually it was made by the government itself. So that's kind of crazy, but it's been what's going on. So yeah, just bear that in mind before you come to Bolivia. Always check the websites. Can still hear the fire that they shoot at this like justice building in the background. Yeah, check your websites so that you don't run into the country when it's kind of like being overthrown in a civil war. I mean, who wants that, right? So stay safe.